they just couldn't see him.
Eddie Ricks, another one of the players that came from Morehead State, averages right at 7 a game, but he's 0 for 4 tonight. Hutchins Everett with the jam.
Lay-in, a goaltend was the call as the officials went to the monitors. So score is 9-4, JMU out in front. Freeman, Lindsey, Taylor, Williams, and Smith on the floor for the visiting Dukes. Morgan, Drone, Gums, O'Garo, and Deere on the floor for Texas State. Angle left three is up and good for.
See what Coach Spradlin drew up here for this last 31 seconds. Texas State's going to get the ball back. There's about a 9-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
JMU just one of their last 8 field goals. Haven't made a field goal in close to 3 minutes. Freeman with 10 to shoot. Right baseline shot is up and good by Bryce Lynn.
Just like we said, how that was a tough shot by Hutchins Everett. That was a tough shot down there for the Bobcats by Tyrell Morgan. Great defense by JMU. Morgan was just able to elevate a little bit higher and knock it down there right in the middle of the paint.
Texas State 11 of 16 from the floor in the second half. Freeman getting a screen from Hutchins Everett. Hutchins Everett down the lane, up and over Morgan. Easy peasy. The shot clock. Almost a steal, ends up in the hands of Morgan. Ball is ripped away, and Freeman's got it. In transition, Lindsey, we're tied at 70.
Off face. Freeman off the screen from Taylor. Cross court pass to Lindsey. He's wide open, and he's not going to miss very many of those. Again, top three-point shooter, about a three-point shot. He drives over a Deju, cross court pass, open three-point shot, in and out. Rebounded by the Williams.
Yeah,
resets the offense, gets it to Freeman.
Yeah, we've just got it in protected.
Oh, good pass down low to the big man, Elijah Hutchinson Everett, and he now gets it to Deju. Bolden, three-point shot from the logo, no good. Coach, I don't think that's how you draw it up, but that might be the only open shot you get. Freeman gets it to Lindsey, open three. That's where he's money, and he delivers 29-14 and 11-0 to 11 as we approach 5 minutes.
Yeah, I kind of thought Young might go up with it when he got it because he was in his range from the three-point line.
Hutchinson Everett will step out and shoot a three. My goodness, when you got a 6'11 guy who can shoot a...
James Madison will get its first possession of the afternoon. The inbound will come from Bryce Lindsey going into Noah Williams, getting a start today. One of the 6 seniors, recognized along, of course, with Mark Freeman, who has had a fabulous season with James Madison and has been really instrumental in this current winning streak for JMU. Here's the starting 5 for the Dukes in Freeman, Lindsey, Williams, Smith, and Hutchins Everett. So Xavier Brown not starting today, but Freeman is. Inside it goes to Hutchins Everett, and he puts it off the glass. Come back. And by the way, with Mark starting today, that was his 100th career start, as he is playing in his 142nd career game.
Well, and he's a coach's dream because he can start and give you everything you need, but he can also come off the bench and won't show any different attitude in the way he approaches the game.
Freeman on ice skates there, it looked like, gets it inside. A nice seal. Georgia Southern, 41% for James Madison. That's another block. Dewana goes up to get that one. He's got over 100 blocks in his career. Duke's got to get their floor spacing, and they do. Here comes Smith. They're going to stack the double screen here. And Brown will make that. Freeman navigates through it all, finds Lindsey all alone, and Bryce, you got to pick him up. Inbounds to Freeman with 14 to shoot. Brown will defend him. Smith over the top it goes. Here comes Lindsey, big screen, and Lindsey with another. Duke's 27 rebounds, 24 for Georgia State. Freeman, quiet first half offensively. Williams pushes it up and tumbles on through.
In Edwards' defense, Freeman may have won whatever the award is for the best actor. I'm not hip on that stuff. He may have won that right there.
Whoa, what a play! The transition for Georgia Southern to go back to the Sun Belt, as they had been in the league for about 8 years. Might have been a couple of years longer than that, actually. That should have been about 8. And Everett Hutchins
from 3 that we've seen from Georgia Southern so far. But with Dante Holloman, sometimes it doesn't matter. He can shoot it from anywhere in the gym, and it's got a chance.
Well, the biggest thing is that Holloman can break down a defense and make shots, and he just needs a little bit of space. Brown, corner 3, answering back for the Dukes. 5-54, but the Eagles have been right there with the Dukes making some key plays inside the paint. Midway through the second half. Dukes working around the perimeter. An open Brown for 3. Connects. Nothing.
Now, they're shooting almost 65% from the floor in this half. They have to keep that up.
White makes it a 1-point game, splitting a pair. Brown out to Freeman. Goes to Brown for 3. That's been the 1-2 punch.
In 7 of his last 9. And with that being the case, all 5 starters over the course of this 7 ball games, 7 out of 9 ball games, have all been in double figures. You get 5 guys in double figures, good things happen. Consequently, Toledo's won 4 in a row.
That's a mismatch, and it pays off. Elijah Hutchins Everett at 6, coming off a 64-61 win on Wednesday against Troy, a team that beat Toledo to start the year in the first round of the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. An extremely physical game, according to Mark Freeman, and there's Xavier Brown knocking down Wilson again. Couldn't come up with the offensive rebound. It's collected by Dewana. Ghanaian native. First 2 stops were at NC State and Georgia Tech, and there's the big fella running the floor and for James Madison. That's a careless pass from Sonny Wilson. On the run is Brown and Freeman. This is Lindsey. Book it.
That's a great job. Great transition offense by.
And the fans here at James Madison get their first look at the men's basketball program from Troy. The women were here to open up league play against James Madison's women, who are on the road tonight against South Alabama. Troy against Old Dominion tonight. Valdez hits the second of the 2 tries.
Troy is plus 92 at the foul line for the year. So that gives a lot of credibility to how they attack the rim. They haven't shot the 3 well. They've made up for it at the free throw line.
These are the 2 teams with the greatest amount of depth in the Sun Belt. As hitting the 3-pointer from the top. As Darren said, a lot of 1-2 punches when both these teams were in the Colonial back in the early 90s. I mentioned Oliver Purnell coaching at Old Dominion and Lefty Driesell coaching at James Madison around that stretch.
It was a great time to be growing up in the Shenandoah Valley and around the Colonial Athletic Association.
Actually, the commissioner is here today, the former commissioner of the CAA, and Tom Yeager. And a nice finish for pointers. Coastal 4 of 9 on trays, 44%, and up to 47% from the field, 14 of 30.
I often say you live by the 3, you die by the 3. JMU is up to that moment.
JMU 3. That's right. Great drive and dish by Jelani Hamilton, finding Tenary Lane for a wide open 3. He knocks it down.
Georgia State stays within 3. Here's a long 3 for James Madison.
Behind the arc and knocks it down for the Panthers. A much needed bucket for the Panthers.
9 points for Tenary Lane. He leads the way for Georgia State. 3 for 5 behind the 3-point line. Freeman drives, leaves it underneath for Hutchins. Everett. Little to Hamilton. They get it to Cesar. Cesar put it on the floor, and it was knocked loose. Taylor's got it for the Dukes. Ahead to Xavier Brown. Brown looks back out front. And the ball now in the hands of Mark Freeman. Freeman circles all the way. The open shooter is Brown for 3. That's 3.
Down the floor. And that's what said. The ball didn't move to anyone else. The defense didn't have to do anything, but this secured a rebound.
Rex gives it up to Freeman. Freeman with 8 on the shot clock to make something happen. Cross-court pass. Smith with 2 on the shot clock, buries it. Free ball. Wide open look for Ricks, in and out. Boy, that was a good look too. Smith, though, he's so strong, able to get another offensive board.
Yeah, that's a walk. That's a travel right there, and that was a call.
Now backing it back out is Mark Freeman with Duro Gordon on him. 7 on the clock. He's going to make something happen. Passes it out. Corner look in 3 ball. Ricks buries this one. On the clock, 16-17 after they've wiped up the floor. Mike Jones is not really pleased with his crew. There, way too easy. Ricks throws it down.
Open man on the left wing. At his Dodd with the shot. It is not a good one. And the rebound is pulled down. Xavier Brown, who's pulling in just under 4 per ball game as he rounds out his floor game for James Madison.
Yeah, and a nice job by Hutchins Everett to tip the ball to Brown.
A.J. Smith hits a three-pointer.
No need for a second chance there. He nailed that.
He is 5 for 16 from beyond the arc. So came in just shooting 27%, but he hits that one to spread out the lead to 8. It was once 18-10. So it matches that margin. Freeman driving up against Dodd, puts on the brakes. The kick out. Rick steps back for the 3 and hits.
Beautifully done. Lead back to 7.
With 6 minutes remaining. Mark it now. Freeman gets his man up in the air. Needs some assistance. Gets it from Ricks right back to him. Behind the back he goes. Freeman, a lot of spinning. Drops it off for Lindsay to the rim. App State trying to change that to 8-2. Tate is blocked by Smith, who comes up with a rebound on top of things.
Another great defensive play by A.J. Smith.
Now the Dukes need something offensively. Freeman. Lindsay open from the left. Yes. Shot clock at 14. Beaten and banging. Too strong. Ball comes out into Taylor's hands.
Wow. That's some physical stuff in that paint.
Freeman wanted to run, but he had to hold up as Marshall did get back very nicely on the transition defense. Now they'll settle into the half court. Leaving up for Dewana again. Green, as much contact as there is out there.
I think I saw some drafting a minute ago.
Well, there has been a bit of that.
Great
and
inbounds.
Easy too.
Terrific inbounds play by the Dukes.
Ahead to Gibson, and he gets too far underneath, does Gibbs. Xavier Brown steps into the 3 and cans it.
That's the first. Nearly tipped it in.
Eyeing the 3, Nutter comes up short. Brown protects the basketball as he gets the carom. Down to 4 minutes to play in the opening stanza. Freeman gets loose. Keyhole drops it off. Layup.
That's as nice as you're going to see it done.
Shooting about 36%. They're second and third in the Sun Belt in three-point shooting percentage.
App State a little better defending the 3 as Huntley misses from deep. Mark Freeman with the run-out rebound. Freeman yet to really get established offensively. The Mountaineers have put a little extra emphasis on him, but he gets the nice pass down low.
I'm aware of it, and I might be wrong, but you know, if they continue to get better and better, then and one more guy, I think one more guy needs to step up off the bench.
Nate Martin puts up the shot, won't go, and Freeman. There's his 2.5 rebounds a game. He gets it for the Dukes. It's a back out here, and how about number 3 with the by Michael Dawson, who is up to 15 now. It makes it a 54-49 edge for the Thundering Herd. Michael Dawson spent time, first 4 years of his career at Akron. Smith guns, and Smith delivers.
Need to be thrown more towards the rim.
That was Dewana that missed the opportunity, and coming up with the board, it's Ricks. Freeman stepping into the 3, and we'll see what Brown can do. Yes. Twice a career high of 31. I mentioned this year against Alabama Birmingham. Did the same against Bowling Green last year in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. And stepping out. according to Coach Ladner. And I think if you look at his performance last year against James Madison, he had a good ball game, scored in double figures in a win against the Dukes.
And it took him about 8 seconds to get his first shot off. So I think that tells you his mind is he's very offensively minded. Nothing wrong with that.
And here's a newcomer, so to speak, Will Lovings-Watts. We're seeing him for the first time. It was thought he was going to redshirt this year. He takes his first. He picks up points number 6 and 7.
That was a big-time move. Switched the ball to his left hand in midair and finished off the glass.
He's 3 for 8. Short shot is good for Hutchins. Capello up to 22. Freeman. Oh, I don't think that was the intent.
And get the best out of all those guys.
A little bit of pressure now easing back out. JMU at home on Saturday against Arkansas State. So that'll pit the preseason 1 and 2 against one another. And A.J. Smith with Bobby Henry. But getting his offense, and it's interesting. I play back and forth with Brown because I think Coach Spradlin wants him to start his game to tumble down. Is Freeman okay? Yeah, he was just a little slow to get up. And at the other end, rejected. Here we go. And there's that.
Conference play is already here. Ball is in the air, and we are underway. It's James Madison controlling the tip, and here are the starters for the Dukes. Mark Freeman, Xavier Brown, Eddie Ricks III, Elijah Hutchins Everett, and A.J. Smith will be the starting 5 that Coach Spradlin goes with, and they'll go up and over with the alley-oop.
Big shot, Pat. Needed.
Second three-pointer by the Jags. It stops an 11-0 run by JMU, and now Lindsey's half hot, starts off the second half hot. Turnaround jumper good.
If you get a good screen on him going either way, and he can elevate up over a defender, if that curl jump shot is becoming a deadly weapon for Barry Dunning Jr.
He's the first player in this ball game to hit double digits. 10 points for Dunning. And it's a 10-point lead for South Alabama. Just underway, second half. Pat Greenwood, Bart Heisch, and there's Xavier Brown. Last 5 minutes for South. Ormiston outside of Judah. Brown for 3, in and out, no good. And there's Xavier Brown. And now it looks like we will have a bench emptying for South Alabama as here comes Caleb Kaiser to the scorer's table. Shot on the way. There's Bryce Lindsey for 3. He's got it.
Tyler Johnson into the lane, turns it over. Up ahead, the Syracuse transfer, Justin Taylor.
And more volume will lead to more shots going in.
That one banks off the top of the backboard. Ricks tracks it down for the Dukes. Here's Brown in the front court for James Madison. Dropping it down. Dewana slams it on home. And a foul on top. Anderson chases. And they've had so many just so close.
You took the words right off my tongue. They've probably missed 6, 8, 10 bunnies that you normally would think they probably make. Good look.
And there comes a slam. He had all day. They just
play in this zone versus the man-to-man they were in the first half.
That's good if it goes. And how about that? Dukes get another. But there you go, the zone.
That's the issue, is blocking out of the zone. It's so tough. Used to drive me crazy as a coach. Of course, I hardly ever played zones, so it didn't matter.
Lindsey in the corner. That's a zone buster.
It's just not your day.
3.5 to go. Dukes will be off for this coming week. It is exam week. But then a tall task a week from Tuesday at Wake Forest. Freeman. Whoa! How about that one? 15 points in the last 4 games. He's averaged 18.8 points per contest. And 4 times this year, he's hit 5 trays in a single game.
Yeah, you don't really expect to see someone coming off the bench as your leading scorer. But obviously, he's comfortable in that role, and he's producing.
And producing with.
He can shoot the three, but he'll use his strength to get into the paint and finish more often than not.
Coach Savas, he is a really nice young man. He's from Gary, Indiana. His mother runs a daycare there. And over the top at number 7. Peterson quickly elevates. Hutchins Everett screens the ball away and comes up with it, does James Madison ultimately. Into the corner, Lindsey fires 3, hits the 3.
Probably the best player on the team, at least that's what we hear from Tony Skinn and his staff. But he only had 3 points against Ferrum. In fact, he was 1 of 8 from long range. Maddox.
Yeah, he comes in with a little bit of a cold streak, 3 of his last 20, but don't expect that to continue. And he is one of the best creators of shots in the country.
Well, you can see JMU having to fight for everything they can get. And that time,
that team was just flat out special, and there was so much to look at for that George Mason squad. Their athletic director also, Kurt, played on a Final Four team of his own, a new AD, that is in Marvin Lewis. So there's a lot of ties to postseason play here with the Patriots.
And you can't forget that Tony Skinn said they had a back then, a guy named Jim Larinaga, who Skinn said the smartest guy he's ever worked with. Huge 3 for JMU. Wow. Beautifully done for George Mason.
Zach Anderson's second field goal and three-pointer number 15 of the year. He came in a 54% three-point shooter. Not a true volume shooter from beyond the arc, but accuracy is among his strengths. Way downtown, Brown. Yes. Montverde Academy is where he was before he went to ETSU. Hutchins Everett, left-handed.
Nice. Really nice.
Utuka now averaging 8.2 thanks to that opening game where he exploded. Brown. Hutchins Everett at least appeared to think about a 3. He'll get it in the post now and go up and over Niago and put it in for club this season. Here's Hogue driving strong. Good defense by JMU again. Williams this time able to interrupt the shot without fouling. Lindsey straightaway 3 and he got it. As I mentioned in the first half, Preston Spradlin has put together a very solid unit in my opinion. And I would expect success with him at the helm of this program after 20-win seasons in all 4 years at the helm of the Morehead State Eagle program. What a look. A great. So, Gianni opens the scoring first. See if JMU has an answer. They do, and they retake the lead 4-2. Lindsey has been sensational. First 3 that he has hit. Long 3, straight away, Lindsey, 2 for 2. Keeps pull-up 10-footer good. Jordan Mason has done well off the bench for the Flames as well. Lindsey thought about it, now drives, kick out. Freeman couldn't collect it at first, but fires one on the low block. Anderson with a bucket of the foul. So both of these coaches trying to set a precedent early in this 2024-25 campaign, starting their tenure strong. Here's Lindsey, gets a screen from Smith. Anderson with it. Drives on Scoble, has it knocked free, but Dukes get it back. Freeman into the paint. No look pass. Lindsey will try to dial up another one, and he's hit 3. Preston Spradlin. Nice entry pass and a great executed out-of-bounds play.
against, look, Freeman and Brown. Freeman came from Morehead State. We'll talk to about Coach Bradley and what he did at Morehead State, 2 NCAAs in 4 years. Comes to James Madison. They only have 8% of the team back. The team that beat Wisconsin in the NCAA. Mark Byington went to Vanderbilt because of it. But as you said, Spiro, there's a lot of transfers in college basketball. James Madison even has a high number for that. And there is Mr. Brown.
Tigers were looking. They steal it. And then Suleiman lost control, and the other way comes Freeman. Feeds to Brown, lays it up and in.
It was a hard
for
game.
3 besides that game.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm saying it's great to give Division III guys a chance. I played it, but there's a big difference between that and playing in Division I. Good pass.
And a layup made there by dribbling around to his right. And then Williamson gets stripped. Ball rolling loose, picked up by Freeman, gets it ahead to Brown, who lays it in, and he's fouled.
Can't foul him there.
Indiana, and by, if you remember Julian Wooden, he played at Northside High School under Billy Pope. Well, by also from that program.
And you know, as a Spotswood guy.
Lindsay will bring it up. Bryce, redshirt freshman, transfer from Texas A&M. In that ball game against Norfolk State, he was 7 for 15 from the floor, 5 of 11 on trays. Here's the kick out. 3-point try by Eddie Ricks is good.
Adlin said 15 points in the first 8 minutes is unacceptable. We have to take pride in guarding the ball, and you see right now, it's been 4 minutes, and Mary Baldwin still has not scored a point. That was the big emphasis for Coach Spradlin.
And the tray from the outside. Product from Raleigh, North Carolina. Bunn, North Carolina. Slipping it in, and the jam for
around the perimeter. But he said, until we defend better, I will not be pleased. Now on the side of Mary Baldwin and Daniel Eco, he said he loved the way his team competed in that first half, and they have to continue that. Oh, there you go.
You know, this also, a game like this for James Madison could help a little bit with its continuity on the court with some timing.
Yep.
With all the new players, all the new faces.
Absolutely.
Right wing. There's one of the returns. I recall vaguely hearing in the local news about William Monroe's success. And there's the first 2 for number. And anytime you can average in double figures
over the course of an entire career.
Exactly.
Right.
That means you've played a lot, generally speaking. And that is a 3, and timeout is. Freeman, who just hit the 3, down and low. Dewana. The kick out to Mitchell. Freeman comes away with the basketball, shovels it to Brown. Brown up and underneath. Yes.